All right, guys. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever the fuck you're at. Today I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys how to master your guys' own tracks. If you guys use FL, if you don't, um, I do notice like a lot of you guys using instant mastering from like BandLab or whatnot, and that's cool too. Um, Whatever floats your boat. But I'm gonna show you guys how to do it the right way. Um, Now, mind you, this is just gonna be real quick, little mastering. It's not like uh, everything that you need, you know. To I'm gonna leave some things out. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick version of this, just so you guys can kind of get started, and we can all be on the same page here. If you guys don't use a DAW to record your music, I highly suggest that you do invest into a laptop, a computer, a desktop, a microphone, an audio interface. When it comes to using microphones, try to stay away from the USB mics like this. This little guy right here is probably not what you want to use. So you want to use an XLR microphone. It's going to come with an XLR cable, and it's going to plug into your audio interface. If you guys have a proper audio interface, you guys should only be able to plug in an XLR cord into it. So with that being said, those are like your three little main components that you're going to need here. If you guys have the extra funds, I highly suggest buying any version or one of the better versions of the DAW that you currently use, or do your research and to find out which one's best for you guys. So basically, we're gonna get started here. So mastering, we're gonna go ahead and just master a random track. It might already be done, but I'm just gonna show you guys. Now in this video, you guys will not be able to hear any sounds, so because I'm not monetizing this, and yeah, I don't know how that fucking works. So regardless, if I put this on Facebook, they're gonna pull it down if I got audio in it. So let's just leave that out. But I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the steps, the proper steps anyway. Like I said, this isn't like everything you need. This is just like a kind of like a general, just a quick run through real quick to get you guys dBs to the high point of, you know, Spotify or whatnot. You guys do know that if you guys aren't loud enough, or your dBs aren't as loud, or if they're too loud, Spotify is gonna cut them bitches down. So it's just better to get it right the first time. So you don't have any unexpected surprises popping up. So all right, basically, you know, like I said, when you load up FL Studio, it's gonna look like this, just a blank page, blah blah blah. We're just gonna open up a project that we want to master. All right, say you just finished a song and you're ready, or you mixed it. You know, you got your gain stage is correct, all your volumes are correct, and the next step would be to master your song. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's just pick something that might already be done. Just so I can show you guys how to put all the files together. Let's see. This is one that I'm working on now, so we can go ahead and just load this up. Okay. So let's just say this is our song that we want to master. We're done with it or whatnot. Okay. First thing you're gonna want to do is export it. or render, export, render, whatever. So basically we're gonna go ahead and export it. Shit. Let's just not. Let me do a song. Let me pick a different song here. Let me see if I can do an older song. Fuck it. We'll just start a new one. So anyway, say this is your song. You're gonna go up here. You're gonna go to I'm gonna go ahead and save it as. Oh, my keyboard's on. Okay. I usually render everything in WAV format, but yeah, we'll do it. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just save this to my OneDrive, like so. Okay. So right here, you see I'm rendering to WAV. It's at a 16-bit right now. You want to go ahead and change this 16, the 32-bit float. Okay, 32-bit float right here. All right, go ahead and hit start. Boom. All right. So now that we just rendered our project, we can go ahead and go in here. We're gonna go to File, and we're gonna go to New. Okay. We can go ahead and insert our rendered track. The track that we just rendered should be in the file that you saved it as. I saved mine to my OneDrive. Alright. And then basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna left click and drag it over. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on track 1 because I'm done recording. Alright. Now we got our track here. First thing that we're also gonna want to do is we're gonna want to set the tempo right off rip to make sure the tempos are matched up. So before I move it, I'm gonna go right here and detect tempo. Now if you already rendered it, it will already be embedded. So go ahead and just hit 72.5, which is fucking really weird. But alright. I'm just using this track as an example, so we'll just go from here. Okay, tempo set, BPMs, whatever. Then you can go ahead and normalize it as well. Go ahead and double left click up here on your bar, right? And just hit normalize. Boom, you slide that over, okay? So we're rendered, we got our track loaded in, we got it normalized. This will be the point right here where you can go ahead and clean it up just a little bit if you want to add equalizers to it. You're gonna be on track 1 here, so track 1, you know, you want to EQ it. Now is the time to do that. Okay, I personally suggest using your parametric EQ2, but any other one that you're familiar with will work as well. Now, basically, this is where you're just cutting out some of the low ends and raising your higher ends and whatnot. I'm not really necessarily going to go into this right now. I can do another video on this. So we're just going to skip over this part because this is all personal preference. All right. So once you get your tracks EQ'd to your preference, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and compress each. We're going to go ahead and open up this Maximus. Okay. So I'm going to use slot 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and open up this Maximus. Now, I am using FL Studio 21, the newest version. Whatever, it might be different for you if you use a different DAW. Things might be called different or just different plugins in general. If you use FL, then Maximus is probably your best friend. So let's go ahead and open that up. All right. Now this little guy right here is going to be everything to you. It's going to be a little difficult for me to show you because I'm not going to be playing any sound on here in the background. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and light this spliff. Light this little purple pack real quick. All right. Now this is all personal preference, okay? When you're mastering a track, or even if you're mixing it, it's all personal preference, okay? There's really not a wrong way or a right way, because every artist requires something different, or a little more of this or a little less of that. So this is all based on personal preference. I am also not using studio monitors right now to show you this. I highly suggest you get yourself a set of studio monitors if you want to mix and master, or some good quality mixing headphones will work as well. So if you don't have none of them, then I would probably just go ahead and pay the 50 to 80 bucks for somebody to do this for me, and support your local engineers for sure. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and use this Maximus. We're gonna go ahead and solo out your low ends, your mids, and your high frequencies here. And you got your master channel, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to bands, right? And I'm just gonna raise these ceilings. I've seen people go up to -9, whatnot, but like I said, you just wanna be listening and using your ears as much as possible here. So basically what I just did is I raised my low ends, my mids, and my high ends, okay? Some people go higher, some people go lower, whatnot, but this is just a general lesson, so I'm just kind of showing you if it's too low for you. When you're doing this, you know, you can go a little higher in your low end, a little higher in your mids, or a little higher in your high ends here. So like I said, it's all personal preference for your particular track. So once I did that, I went ahead and raised them up a little bit. Before you get to the Maximus, like I said before, I really highly recommend you EQing your track. This was probably already done in the mixing stage. The mixing stage is where you're gonna add, you know, your vocal effects, your equalizers, your compression, your delays, or whatnot. After you do all that, then this is the next step. So um, the mastering process is not what a lot of people think it is. You know, some people think that you can just make a song and mastering is going to make it sound good, and it's not. That is all going to come from your mixing. Okay, that's all in the mix. If you have a really good solid mix, um, your vocal levels are all proper. You know, you got your whatever you use, auto tune, any type of filters, whatever you use, that's usually where you do that there. This step here is called the mastering. This is going to be your last step. And basically, what we're doing here is just getting the track ready for our radio, um, or whatever streaming service that you use. Hopefully, all of them. Um, so let's get back to this. All right. Now, there are certain, hertz and shit that you want to set, but since I'm not listening to this, I'm just kind of showing you. Um, it'll be fairly close, but you might have to like tweak this a little bit to your desire and your liking. With that being said, basically I use this as a compressor. Okay, this Maximus right now, I'm basically gonna use this for everything that I'm about to show you in mastering. Can all be done right here using this plugin. This is all stock. I'm not buying nothing extra. This all comes with the program. If you get yourself the decent version of it, it'll come with everything that you need for free. So like I said, I'm not purchasing anything extra or special here to do this. It's all on FL21 or whatever version you use. Maximus should be one of the plugins that come with it. So with that being said, all right, what I did here is this little solo guy right here is just gonna solo out each one of your lows or your mid or your high, so I can do it individually. Now if this is not clicked in, you're gonna go ahead and change everything, and that's not a good look. It'll change the master. So we want to do these one by one. Okay, so we got our shit raised up here a little bit, right? Now if you're listening to your track at the same time, you'll be able to hear it, so you'll be like, okay, this is too loud, this is too low. So we want to, I'm gonna start right here at 6. Okay, and then just listen. It's basically, you're just this little line right here, your lows. You're only gonna be able to, if you go to solo, you're only gonna be able to hear your low end frequencies. Okay, same with your mids. You're only gonna be able to hear your mids here, and same with the highs, right? So you're adjusting according to what you're hearing individually, which is great. Okay, now along with this, we're also going to adjust this right here, and this is all, like I said, done according to sound. So you want to be listening to your track while you're doing this. Okay, I'm just like kind of already know where to put it, so I'm just kind of showing you. But everything that I'm doing, you're gonna want to be able to like listen to your track, and maybe that's too low, maybe that's too high, you know what I mean? So you're just kind of have to play with it, and the outcome, once you hear it, like I highly suggest once you get finished with any track, you go listen to it into a car stereo, and that'll tell you everything that you're either missing, or you have too much compression, or you might need to turn your vocals up. But hopefully you did all that before you get to this stage, right? Now a good pair of studio monitors is going to help as well in mastering. So I highly suggest you don't master tracks using headphones, because you're not going to get, unless you have a good a pair of headphones that is specifically designed for mixing and or mastering, which is, there's only a few. They get kind of expensive, same with anything else, but I highly suggest you invest into a good quality speakers or monitors for this process here. If you don't, you're gonna have to keep going out to the car and playing it until it sounds right to you, which can be a chore as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing to my mids here. Raise it up just a tad. Okay, my high end frequencies. Now I'm just kind of guessing here because there's no sound playing. If you wanted to monitor it, you know, you're just gonna it'll tell you when you play it. You'll be able to see everything right here. Okay, so that was our first step, is raising up our frequencies here. Okay, basically I went to solo. I want to solo every individual track or my lows. So solo out your lows, raise them up, solo out your mids, raise them up to your liking. And then after we do this, I'm gonna fucking light the blunt back up. We're gonna go ahead and do a little stereo enhancing. All right. Okay, we're gonna start with the lows. Make sure it's soloed out as well. And basically, this little guy right here, this little knob, we're gonna go ahead and set our low, and we're gonna go ahead and turn it to the right, and we're gonna want to put this on about 15-20%. 15 to 20%. Now, when you see me moving it, you can tell in the upper left corner where it says stereo separations 14% merged. See the number moving. Okay, so go ahead and put that on 15 to 20%. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it on 15 for now. That's your low end. Now your mids here are gonna be 15 to 20% as well, but it's gonna be to the left. Okay, so we can go right here. We'll put this about 15% to the left. Okay, now click your high, still soloed because we're doing this individually, right? Now your high ends are gonna go to the left. We give this with about 30%. Okay, so the left 30% separated on your high end. Great. This is like really short, and it'll seem like really easy to you guys because I skipped out the EQing process. But the EQ process is like something that you want to do first before you get into this. Okay, me not being able to hear the track right now is the reason why I skipped over that process. All right, so one of the last steps we're gonna do here after we do our stereo enhancing is we're gonna go ahead and do some saturation. Okay, and that's gonna be right here, these little guys. All right. Now basically what this means and what this is gonna do here is you only need to put it on what percent. Okay, as soon as I put it on 1%, you'll be able to tell up here in the left hand corner. See, soft saturation threshold set to 1% saturation mode. Okay, no saturation, blah blah blah. All right, so we're gonna get this 1%, and basically what that's gonna do is it's just gonna like basically just turn it on. All right, for you here, and we're gonna set the ceiling right here to -1. Okay, so we're gonna go to the left until it say -1 dB. Boom, like so. Now basically what this is doing is it's gonna allow you to raise your post gain here, your volume to your track as high as you want, and it's not gonna clip. Okay, so if you have any type of dB meter, that's going to be great here. I can give you guys the information to the one that I use, but this will allow you to turn your track up without clipping or distorting. All right, basically without it going over 0. And I'm not quite sure. I know we have a stock one here. We could try to find it real quick. Fuck. Where is this bitch at? It should be a dB meter somewhere. Just type it in. There it is. All right. And as you're playing your track, anything over 0 right here is gonna be considered clipping, right? So using the saturation and doing this allows you to turn up your post gain, your output volume of your track pretty much as high as you want it until it starts to distorting, because it still will, but it will not go over 0. And you can also see that right here on your mixer channel as well. So if we're using the master and you're playing your track in the background, if it's going over 0 dB, then you're clipping. The saturation just allows that to not happen. Okay, so the dB meter now comes in very handy because this is where you want to set your proper dB output for your streaming services. Make sure it's loud enough, and or if it's too loud, you're gonna have to turn it down, or they will do it for you, and you don't want any unexpected surprises. Okay, so with that being said, that's pretty much all you need to do. I skipped over quite a bit of smaller stuff that you can do to add to it, to make your master sound really, really well. And I will say that for another day, but this is just like a basic understanding of it. I feel like a lot of people get mastering and mixing either backwards, mixed up, or they just don't belong together. There's honestly two engineers that do that. You usually have a mixing engineer and or just a mastering engineer. Sometimes they do both, whatever, but they are definitely not the same thing, and your mastering is always going to come after your proper mix. And I will get into, actually I'll just show you guys like the whole proper mix and master here soon eventually. I haven't done one of these videos for a while, but just kind of like let you guys know like what I've been working on and whatnot. So when it comes to like making music, a lot of people can already rap, but if you just want to better your craft and invest in yourself, I highly suggest that you do that, because the more that you do that, I feel like you further your chances of going way farther into this will be. If not, grab a phone, grab you a pair of fucking headphones, and more power to you. No disrespect to any artist that does, however they do, but when it comes to music, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to know, and I feel like you could really never stop learning. So invest in your craft and invest in what you're doing. Get yourself a laptop, get yourself a DAW, get yourself a good mic. Um, I don't know. That's all I could say. But I am out. We will get into more of this. Um, I'll have to make a YouTube video for it. That way I can play the sounds in the background and you guys can hear exactly what I'm doing. That'll be great. But if you pay attention to like basically the couple steps that I just did here, um, and you're using your speaker monitors or your headphones, or you're gonna take it out to your car, whatever you're gonna do, you follow these little steps, and then um, you will be able to. You should come out with a way clearer, louder project, um, and ready to go. Then you can just obviously, once you're done here, your track's ready to go, and then you can just render it back out and um, upload it to your distro. So with that being said, you guys have a good morning, good rest of your day. I am about to not take a nap. So nah, out this bitch. Y'all be safe. And like I said, I'll give you guys another video of the actual sound, but I'll put that on YouTube. It'll just be a link. All right. I highly suggest, like before I go, I highly suggest that you guys learn as much as you can instead of having an app or anything automatically master your track to make it louder. It might sound better, it might whatever, it might actually work for some people, but to know what you're and understand what you're hearing and what's happening makes a really big difference. When you, especially if you record yourself like I do. I do everything myself, so I want it to be as good as I can get it. Now, the more that I learn, the more that I actually don't like any of my older music because I just keep learning, and it sucks, but at the same time it don't, because everything future, I mean, you could tell, you'll be able to hear the progression pretty much. But if you guys want it right, take the time out. If you guys are using a different DAW, like I said, it's gonna be a different plugin that you're using for mastering, but your concepts is all there. Obviously, it's a little hard to show you guys without actually hearing it, but basically, use your Maximus. This little guy right here is gonna be your best friend. That's it. Out this motherfucker.